Okay, welcome to update number 2 for day 2 of the David Burke preliminary hearing. Again, we are going right back into it, back from the information coming directly from LA Mag and Lauren Conlin, who has been reporting from the case today. Prosecutors next called California Highway Patrol Officer Sean Buenrostro, who testified that on January 7th, 2026, he responded to a report from a Caltrans worker who had discovered a passport card belonging to Celeste Rivas Hernandez along Highway 154. East of West Camino Cielo Road in Santa Barbara County. Officer Sean said that the area consisted of a dirt shoulder with tall grass and a steep embankment overlooking several sharp drop-offs. According to his testimony, the Caltrans employee told him he found the passport card while walking the shoulder during a traffic control assignment after some recent rain. The worker said that he searched Celeste's name online, realized who she was, and contacted the police. Officer Sean testified that after confirming Celeste was listed as a missing person, he photographed the scene, documented the location with GPS coordinates using Google Maps, and notified the Los Angeles Police Department. Exhibits shown in court included photographs of the highway shoulder, the brush where the passport was found, and the passport card itself. The passport of Celeste Rivas Hernandez was shown to the court, where she appeared to look very young. Lauren goes on to report that throughout the testimony, Burke remained focused on the courtroom monitor, appearing expressionless as images of Celeste's passport were displayed. Officer Sean also said CHP and LAPD later searched the surrounding area, but found no additional evidence. On cross-examination, defense attorney Regina Peter focused on how the passport card was recovered and whether investigators could determine how long it had been there. Officer Sean acknowledged that the Caltrans worker picked up the passport before law enforcement arrived and was not wearing gloves. He also testified that he did not ask whether the passport had been face up or face down, partially buried, or otherwise covered by dirt or vegetation. Officer Sean said that he was unaware whether the passport card was ever tested for fingerprints and agreed that he cannot determine whether it had been dropped recently or carried to the location by weather or storm. Peter also questioned why Officer Sean photographed himself only pointing to the area where the passport had been found instead of taking a photograph of the exact location itself. A Google Maps exhibit introduced by the defense appeared to place the GPS pin on the highway rather than in the dirt shoulder. Officer Sean said that he placed the marker using the satellite map view and still claimed that the coordinates he documented were accurate to the best of his ability. Before lunch, prosecutors called LAPD criminalist Chelsea Murillo, a forensic field investigator with the department's Scientific Investigation Division, who testified that she had processed more than 230 scenes over her 7-year career. As prosecutors displayed photographs of the vehicle, Murillo testified that the entire exterior was coated in a noticeable layer of dust, leading her to believe it had been sitting undisturbed for some time. She also described a strong odor consistent with a decomposing body based on her training and experience, and noted insect activity inside the vehicle's front trunk or frunk. Additional photographs that were introduced into evidence showed the Tesla's interior, where investigators documented numerous air fresheners scattered throughout the cabin and trunk, most concentrated in the center console, along with a bottle of Purell hand sanitizer. One of the air fresheners displayed the phrase, "Love is in the air," and that would be coming from the Love car wash that is out here in Los Angeles. Murillo will return to the stand after lunch. So I'm going to give you some other information that has been released from reporters before I go into part 3, because I see that Lauren has posted further updates with LA Mag. Brian Entin covered that regarding a lot about the money issues that came up today, that David had the potential to make $17 million off of just one of his contracts. So again, they're really honing in on the financial aspect here, and how they're looking at connecting the fact that Celeste would be a threat to him in that way, and the unaliving for financial gain charge. Some other one-off updates is that Lauren did comment on X that before testimony resumed, that there was two slightly tense and awkward moments. Patrick Steinfeld, who is the civil attorney representing Celeste Rivas Hernandez's family, who I shared a video of yesterday that was talking about being the wrongful death lawyer for the family. Again, suits like that do not happen until after a criminal trial is completely done, by the way. So you wouldn't really hear anything until after this even went to trial and all of that. Moving on, Patrick Steinfeld, so that attorney, had asked to make a record after being told he couldn't use his laptop in court, and Judge Olmedo admonished him and instructed him to be more respectful of the court staff. She said the court has strict rules regarding electronics, so it's pretty tense if you have to admonish the family's lawyer in court. She also noted that defense attorney Blair Burke then argued that she had not received a prosecution presentation that would be used during the next witness's testimony, and prosecutor Beth Silverman loudly disagreed, saying that the defense had been provided the materials. Now she talks about when they went back to LAPD criminalist Chelsea Murillo when she resumed testimony about processing David's Tesla Model X vehicle where Celeste's body was found. She again talked about the small being consistent with human decomposition and observed significant insect activity. Again, referenced the air fresheners that were found. She says that Murillo testified investigators used phenylephrine and Blue Star. Easy, that one's easier to say, a chemical enhancement similar to luminol during their examination of the Tesla. Photos that were shown showed several reddish stains inside the rear cargo area and third row seating that produced presumptive positive results for blood. Murillo testified that laboratory testing would be required to confirm whether the substance was actually blood. There was a USB flash drive that was recovered from the Tesla's glove compartment, and they say that we don't know what it contains. On the defense cross-examination, Blair Burke pointed out that investigators never chemically tested or swapped the interior or exterior of the rear trunk. Chelsea Murillo testified that decision was based on her assessment at the time. Chelsea agreed with Burke's statement that she could not determine when the reddish stains were left or who left them. Burke questioned whether some crime scene photos have been digitally enhanced. Murillo testified any enhanced images would be labeled and said enhancements are used only to improve visibility. Burke also asked whether Blue Star detected blood in the front passenger area, and Murillo testified that she could not confirm. Now, upon redirect, Beth Silverman confirmed that any enhanced photographs were used solely to improve visibility and followed the standard forensic protocols. Chelsea Murillo also testified that the crime scene photos complied with what most other criminal labs do for enhancing photographs if it's necessary. A new witness that then went up was also LAPD, another criminalist, Lauren Wallace, who's assigned to the Field Investigation Unit, and she testified that she previously worked as a scientist at Biogen and has spent 9 years with LAPD, including processing roughly 400 crime scenes, many involving vehicles. Wallace went on to testify that she processed evidence collected during the search warrant at Burke's Doheny Place residence, searching the home for visible biological stains and other forensic evidence. Wallace confirmed the 2 chainsaws from the garage, a larger black and red chainsaw, and a smaller pink handheld chainsaw. Wallace testified both tested negative during presumptive testing for blood. Now, Lauren notes something bizarre that happened in the courtroom. She said at one point a court tech wearing bright pink shoes approached the monitor to fix it, and prosecutor Beth Silverman commented that his shoes matched the pink chainsaw on the screen, and awkward looks were exchanged in the gallery. The LAPD criminalist Wallace went on to testify that investigators documented multiple linear cuts, approximately 7 in total, in rubber floor mats in the garage. She said that the cuts appeared consistent with damage caused by a sharp object. Photographs showing the cuts as well as several reddish stains on the floor mats. Wallace testified that she performed presumptive testing on the reddish stains and collected samples from those that tested positive for possible blood. More photos shown to the court depicted similar reddish stains on a rowing machine that was located inside of the garage. Additional exhibits were shown of garbage bags filled with wipes covered in brown stains. the inflatable pool, which had a dryer sheet inside, and 2 green tarps with, quote, reddish stains. So that is additional information that was provided from Lauren Conlin. And just as a reminder, this home was not looked at from the criminalists and those forensics until September 2025. And the alleged crime occurred in April 2025. So can you just, these garbage bags were filled with these wipes covered in these stains, the inflatable pool, that just sat, and the green tarps, it just sat in the house, just kept them around. It is mind-blowing how, like, stuff was just kept there. And I'm sure many have seen, we've seen videos and live streams and things that happened in that house. And part of that garage, right, I saw videos where there were people over. He had some like games, arcade style games in there and stuff. And these things were just there in the garage, in the home, on the rowing machine. There's reddish stains. It's truly just unbelievable and mind-blowing. I always think, a lot of criminals, they're not smart, and I wouldn't give any credit to, the alleged crime they're saying that David committed as well, because he's very young. And we can see along these steps that are being shown, all these purchases that were made, like the various purposes, the multiple chainsaws, a shovel, a pool. There's just all these things that are all over the place. And then just holding on to everything. The mentality behind that of holding on to all this stuff, except for, of course, we are missing a chainsaw, and I believe the sharp object that was used in the actual assault. Those items appear to be what's missing, but to hold on to all these other things, to hold on to this poor child's body. There's no, I want to be clear. There's no trying to rationalize it, because you cannot rationalize it. And if you think you're trying to wonder or understand it, it's okay to not understand it, because this is not normal, right? This is not normal behavior. This is not normal stuff that happens. This is why our brains are it's shocking information. It's hard to process, and it's hard to hear, because this is not normal. I just want you to understand it's not normal. You can't rationalize these things. So these are some updates for part 2. I will, of course, come back with a part 3 on what else is coming out from the courthouse today. As always, this is about 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, who lost her life. And what happened in the dark will always come to the light. And we are seeing that happen on a day-to-day basis during this preliminary hearing. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you over in the next part. Make sure that you're following me for more updates in this case and others that I do typically cover as well. Remember to please take care of your mental health while you are consuming this type of content, and please take a break from it and just take care of yourselves.
That's from our new friend at The Light True Crime on TikTok.